Girls, has a guy failed to notice your obvious hints? If so, what's your story? When I first met my husband, he rode a Triumph. Motorcycles were always, and still are, a huge part of his life. So, very obviously dripping with double entendre and all but waggling my eyebrows lasciviously, I go, so, when are you gonna take me for a ride on that beast of yours? And he told me, dead serious, that he doesn't take passengers on his bikes because he doesn't want the responsibility and even removed the passenger pegs. I think I detached my retinas rolling my eyes that hard. The first time we slept together, I was staying the night, and like a gentleman, and I really do appreciate this, that he didn't assume. He offered to put me up on the couch, showed me where the bathroom was, etc. So I go, maybe I can just sleep with you? That one he managed to snag as it was sailing by. Maybe I can just sleep with you if that doesn't activate a man's GPS to Pound Town. Nothing will. I actually had that happen. And it was because the couch was in the common room. It just didn't seem appropriate to have her sleep there, so I offered her a spot in my king-size bed. There's more than enough space for both. I did not understand she had been planning this all along, until we got in bed and kissed me, and I was completely dumbstruck. I couldn't recover from it and let her know it wasn't that I wasn't attracted to her, just that I really thought she just needed a place to crash and thought it was inappropriate to impose my lustful desires at that time. But I'm just impervious to innuendos and hints. Woman I was dating made it clear she wasn't ready for sex, and I was happy to take it slow. She came over for the first time, and the plan was for her to sleep on the sofa. When it came time to sleep, she said she was sleeping on the sofa. I mentioned my king-sized bed had plenty of room. She seemed worried and wanted confirmation we'd just be sleeping in there, once upstairs and in the room. She jumped me, and I was surprised about the entire thing. I didn't think she was ready. I feel like she may have thought she wasn't ready, but when you were so accepting and reassuring that you weren't pressuring her into it, she may have felt comfortable enough with you that she felt ready all of a sudden. To this day, my husband is so bad at picking up when he's being flirted with that I say thank goodness we met on a dating app, or he'd never have known I was interested. He's a very good looking guy, and he gets flirted with all the time, but he just never notices. He's a very good looking guy, and he gets flirted with all the time / absolutely not Mirror. Oof. I didn't come here to be insulted like this. You came here for hints, but now you realize it's all about making sure you follow rules 1 and 2. I asked a crush if he wanted to go on a date with me. He said yes. He thought he was hanging out with a friend. Had to tell him right then and there that I had a crush on him. Bruh, I'm even stupider. Once a girl told me she had a huge crush on me. A guy blushed super guard and turned around super stiffly to walk away. I then go, wait. And she turns around looking super excited, and I go, what's wrong with you? Why pulled anyone like me? I had a huge crush on her for 3 years. I think I drank too much dumb fuck juice. Jesus Christ, dude. I'll preface this with I'm a guy, but it's not really that I don't even pick up on hints or have no idea that they're flirting. My brain realizes that it's flirting, but then it's like that would really embarrassing if she was just being nice and wasn't actually interested, so I never do anything. Precisely. I'm not oblivious. I just insecure and cynical. We've been married for 10 years, with 1 kid and another on the way, but I'm not getting my hopes up. She's probably just being nice. She might be Canadian. You just can't know for sure. Best to just keep your wits about you and continue looking for signs. I've shared this before, but it fits, so I'll go into it again. I was visiting from out of town for a friend's birthday. Birthday boy was my best friend's boyfriend. He was an engineering student, so the night was going to be mostly dudes and we were all going out clubbing. We met up with the group at birthday boy's residence on campus. Immediately I take a liking to this one guy's sense of humor. I'm lightly flirting, but he's missing every hint. We get to the club. I'm getting drunk. I'm repeatedly dancing very close to this guy and he's just not taking the hint at all. Behind me I notice that the birthday boy is trying to signal what to do to my guy, physically exaggerating what to do with his own girlfriend as a prop. Eventually everyone gets tired and sits down for a break. I literally sit on this guy's lap and he just looks around blankly. Again the birthday boy gestures at my clueless mark, who places his hands on my waist. The night continues. I'll only sit in his lap and I'm dragging him around all night, but he won't touch anywhere but my waist. His friends keep trying to encourage him, but he's not really responding. Eventually everyone decides to end the night with some late night macas. We finish our food and he finally takes some initiative and pulls me away to a shadowy corner. He's trying to get up the courage to kiss me goodnight when all the guys come around the corner and insist it's time to leave. I get a lingering hug before I'm ushered into a cab back to my hotel. The next morning I went to campus to say goodbye to everyone and he was nowhere to be found. I was disappointed, but I figure we live hours apart, so it's probably for the best. A couple of days later someone is uploading pics to Facebook and tagging people, so I add him as a friend. We talk all night, then the next night, and the next night. A few weeks later he comes to visit for the weekend with the guy whose birthday it was. We fell pretty quickly into a relationship after that. It turned out he had never been kissed and was just super nervous the whole night. In order to get that first kiss I eventually had to make a bet with him about something super predictable in the movie we were watching. 9 years later, and we've outlasted the friendships that brought us together. He's amazing and I love him more every year. It took him 7 years to propose, and shortly after we were engaged I got super sick. He's taken care of me through anything and everything that comes at us, including me losing the ability to walk. He was so nurturing when I was learning again that it took 4 different specialists to get him to let me try things for myself. Getting married is no longer important to us, but he's the center of my world and keeps me going even when everything seems hopeless. I love him so much. First off, so wholesome. Second of all, this dude is legit me. Whenever I say I've never had my first kiss girls are always shocked. I'm just super fucking shy. So I miss hints all the time and it drives me crazy. Because all my friends are like, bro, you could pull pretty much anyone, you're just dumb as hell. It comforts me to know that us shy guys will finally get our chance. At the time this happened he was almost 20. I honestly never cared that he was inexperienced at things. Just means that there aren't any bad habits I had to break. If I hadn't been quite so drunk I may have been more easily deterred though. He's at my place sitting on the couch. I sit on his lap facing him. He asks me if I want to watch something. I say I kinda like my view now. He goes, you won't be able to see the TV. He's my boyfriend now. As a dude I've read some of these and thought I guess I can see how he missed that / why he wouldn't want to misinterpret that situation. But this one is just so obvious. I'm glad it worked out in the end. Haha, I'm glad too. He still gets bashful when I flirt with him, it's cute. I'm a guy, but a friend of mine, she told about the obvious hints I had missed over quite a few months. This was years ago, before phones had internet, but they had the game Snake on them, which was nice. Anyway, I had changed schools my junior year and met her in a class. She was a big crush of mine. Very good looking, cross country / track runner, really intelligent, well spoken, good student type. I wrestled and played tennis because I was in shape from wrestling and had nothing better to do. So why not? But was otherwise a slacker. Senior year we had a couple classes together. Always got along. Hung out on lunches occasionally. Just a normal friendship thing. Shared class notes, jokes, etc. She had a steady BF for a while. But even if she hadn't I still never would have tried. Not because I was a stranger to dating girls or anything, but because I was intimidated by her. Way out of my league. At one point, after her breakup, she was having the typical parents out of town HS party. Invited me. I couldn't go because I had to go out of town that weekend. So she says, then come over now. Okay. It's like noon. It's important to understand at this point we had become closer friends. But I'm not even hoping for anything because of that intimidation factor. We hung out. Drank a little bit. She mentioned parents out of town more than a few times. She went upstairs to change clothes at one point. Joked a little bit. Then I had to leave. We hug. Peace out. I was completely oblivious to her signals. Fast forward months later. We graduated. Summer is in full swing. Hang out a bit, catch up. Do a few parties. Ended up at late night diner. And start talking about our futures as individuals. She's leaving for college and boot camp for me in the fall. Mid conversation she says, "Do you know I have had a crush on you? Do you like me like that? Or are you too good?" I slightly joked and started laughing and explained my side of it. She's laughing with me now. Then she brings up the night I went to her house. Broke down every detail and signal. Then says I wanted to jump your bones so bad. I was blushing and in denial and speechless. So after a good laugh at my instant mortification and our revelations, I worked up the courage and asked her if she still wanted to. She grinned, then yelled out loud, "Check please." Then whispered to me, "Why do you think I brought it up?" Met him in a Dungeons and Dragons club in high school. Did some flirting but didn't respond. Had a few other chances to hang. About a year later, under very funny circumstances, long story, we went out on a date. After going to a park we go down to his parents' basement to watch a movie, and that's when I saw he had every one of my favorite movies and TV shows taped. VHS off the TV. We are old. I knew he was a keeper. Drop more flirts. He was completely polite and charming. I can't remember the circumstances exactly, but at some point he gave me a massage. A completely polite, non-sexual massage. I tried changing position, asking him to move his hands. Anything to get him to understand I didn't want a polite massage from him. It might have worked, except I didn't know at the time that he had magic hands. Folks, I screwed it up. I fell asleep. He woke me up just in time to get me home on time. I may have screwed it up, but eventually it worked. He said he got the hints, but didn't believe I was after him. We are about to celebrate our 28th anniversary. This happens way more often than people think. You just wait how likely it is for her to like you vs how embarrassing it would be to take a non-existent hint and decide to play dumb. Last year around Christmas time I passed a billboard for Aladdin the musical playing in our city. I knew my wife would love that show. So really excitedly I asked her if I should get tickets for us to go. Apparently she'd been hinting at it for weeks. I'm still not sure I believe her. Maybe she had the billboard put up in a last-ditch effort. Flirt level, legendary.